What's up, AfterBuzz TV? Thank you for joining us for LA Clippers Dance Squad. This is Season 1, Episode 7, LA Women. We got a jam-packed show. I got great hosts here. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
California A hot days got shade. Let me take you round the way. A lot of out of town can't handle this city where you wear the wrong color and it can't get.
What's up, guys? Welcome to AfterBuzz TV, LA Clippers Dance Squad, Season 1, Episode 7, LA Women. And the women really show up tonight. I'm joined by two fabulous women. Introduce them in a second. Tonight's episode is jam-packed. Athena returns, Natalie struggles, and conversations with Blair. We're about to get into it. My name is Michael Rippe. I'm your host. You can find me on social media at Mike Rips. I'm joined by the lovely ladies I just talked about. They are...
I am Jill Munroe. You can find me everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Stiletto Jill.
Hey there, guys. My name is Christy Olson, and you can always find me at Christy Reports.
That's right. So follow them for sure.
Yes!
All right.
Do it!
So,
Now.
it was
That's what we like.
a packed episode tonight. Let's start from the top. The girls go to yoga.
Yoga. They
They
want to get their
try.
chi together.
Right. So Hannah and Savannah go to yoga, and immediately we have an interesting yoga instructor. She's very serious, and that kind of conflicts with Hannah and Hannah's ability to stay focused. So, which I found to be lovely, funny, interesting. It was a great scene. What did you guys think?
Yeah, Hannah just wanted to hop along and see what the fuss is about.
See what it is so that she could get into doing very LA things. That's what it was. She wants to feel like a true LA chick.
Right.
So what else do? You go do yoga and get juice after. So, yeah.
Yeah, because true LA thing to do would be hot yoga, but you can't be
Right.
doing that on camera.
Right.
So we settled for regular old yoga with
'Cause your makeup would
instructor
melt?
commander. Yeah.
Cheryl. Yeah, Cheryl was not having it. She was not happy.
Unhappy with the chattiness, no talking. I don't know these things. I don't do yoga. I should. That's why I'm looking to you for that, info. But good, okay.
I'm not incredibly experienced in the yoga realm either. I feel like I would probably behave in the exact same way as Hannah and Savannah did.
I like yoga. Sometimes you need that little quiet moment to stretch and reflect, but I like yoga in shorter doses. So probably my ADHD would have kicked into. Wait, what is it? ADHD. Whatever that thing is where you can't focus for a long time, that. Jill's got it. Yeah.
There it is. And speaking of that, Hannah says she has ADD, and that's why she can't focus. But by the end of the yoga, she kills it. She did a cool somersault. She did some yoga things, I think.
ADHD, that's what it is. ADHD. There
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
And so then the ladies are going to go get juice, like real LA women.
Yeah.
Green juice.
Is that the best juice?
I mean, if you're going to go, if you've done yoga and you're balanced and you want to, take in the most antioxidants, those things, I would think green juice, kale,
Green juice.
celery, green
Yeah.
juice.
They weren't about to go kill some margaritas.
That's another thing I don't do often is juice. I need to get into this yoga, green juice. See,
I mean, you're missing your total LA experience. What's going on, Mike?
Well, that's why it's LA women.
Right. Okay.
That's a good point. That's a
Very
good
good
point,
point.
Okay, so let's move on from yoga and to one of the season favorites, Athena. She's back. She not on the team, but she's back in the episode. So we get the return of Athena. She meets up with Blair, which is really nice, I guess, of Blair to meet Athena. And I found it interesting immediately because Athena talks about how disappointed she is basically in herself and how much it really mattered to be on the team. And she mentioned she's never been fired. Do you guys believe that?
I mean, I don't know. I think that she was she said she was embarrassed, but I think that that's the bottom line. It's that she got fired on TV. Maybe that's the part of never being, it's possible, but I think that that's the thing. She really thought that she was going to come in and take over, and now she sees, I probably should have chilled in the cut a bit and figured the whole situation out before I just went gangbusters, because it didn't work out well.
What do you think, Christy?
I think someone with her level of attitude has definitely been let go from a gig or two.
Right.
For sure. I like how she almost took responsibility for what she did. She was
Almost.
admitting some mistakes, and then she did her Athena thing and was like, but they were just small mistakes. And how was I supposed to know? I don't know. I'm Athena. I'm hot. I'm supposed to be here.
And it doesn't matter that much, yeah.
No.
True. And also, which is interesting because she said she wanted to follow in Petra's footsteps, but in earlier episodes, we saw her talk about the job as like it was just a side thing. She didn't really care too much about it. So, which is it? Right?
Yeah, was she trying to be the NBA it girl, or was this a stepping stone
Because
to get a
before,
hubby?
it wasn't the NBA thing that she was trying to be in earlier episodes. Like, this was just one thing, and she had so much else going on. But now that she's not on the team, she wants to be the NBA girl. So
what I think was that the team was the catalyst to all the other things she imagined would come from being on the court. And if you're not on the court, how are you going to get to the next thing? You can't be like, yeah, I'm a Clippers spirit dancer, and I'm the star when you're not. And then you're just regular like everybody else.
That's a great point.
So I think that is why she had an attitude adjustment, because she doesn't have that float piece now. Now she's just another girl trying to make it.
Exactly.
Another girl trying to make it.
Well, it was nice to see another girl trying to make it, get together and have this conversation. We didn't hear a whole lot about Blair and Athena having a friendship. And it seemed like it was kind of a nice thing and something that would have shown us a different side of Athena. So I wish if they had these conversations earlier in the season, I wish we would have been able to see them, because we didn't even realize that they were friends. And it looks like they're fairly close.
Yeah.
I think that just Blair is just an all-around nice person, and because she has, stressors and she's new to the team as well, she's not melded to whatever it used to be. And I think even though she saw Athena for what she was, she appreciated her dance ability, and I think that's what, because she felt that's ultimately why we're here, that's what probably brought them closer.
It's a good point. And speaking of Blair, we will move on and see that Blair is in a band, The Rocks. Yes. And so Blair is getting ready with her group for a big performance in a musical showcase, which who knows where it could set her up to be next. And so we see them practicing, performing. And one of the things that I found interesting is that their coach, their dance teacher, talks to them and says, you need to know how to work your hair. See, I don't know how to work my hair. So I'm wondering, ladies, do you know how to work your hair?
I mean, when you have those moments, you absolutely have to know how to work your hair. Do you know what I mean? Because the hair flip is part of it. That's part of the sexy. Okay. So to her point, Othan's point, if you flip your hair and it's in your face, can you really get the full potential of your sexy if we can't see your face?
Yeah, see, but that's what drives me nuts, is the hair in the face. I was never someone who could dance with their hair down or work out or anything. I'm like, if you are doing physical activity, the hair needs to be up. It needs to be like in a bun, it needs to be tied up, it needs to be far, far away. So I understand Blair's difficulty with this issue. However, I thought that their song was really good. Did you guys like it? I mean, I was kind of like bopping along a little bit.
I'm excited to see what happens there, because it does look like there's some talent. I mean, 4 attractive ladies doing sexy dance moves. They've got something.
Yeah, it sounded like Blair could sing pretty well. I mean, we didn't get a great taste tonight.
Yeah,
but
I want to see what they bring in the showcase. To me, it looked like they kind of had a lot of work to do. Like that, the reason why Othan is on them is because she's like, hey, there's going to be a lot of people there. You guys are going to embarrass yourselves. You're so close. You have the looks. You probably have the attitude. You have the vocals, but we just need to tighten it up. That seems to be a reoccurring theme in everything for this show, tightening it up.
And work your hair. Yeah. So Blair,
you gotta work your hair.
Make sure you can work the hair. It seems like you might be able to do the rest, but you gotta work the hair. These ladies can help you. All right, so following the Rocks' performance or practice of their performance, we see the first kind of practice for a game without Athena, and there's no negative energy, Hannah says, which is interesting. It seems like everyone is relieved that Athena's gone, and it's going to be better moving forward as a dance team. That leads us into Natalie's struggles, which is a continuing issue in the show. So we see Natalie really kind of struggling. She's at dinner with the girls, and she pulls Brianna out to have a chat with her. Not sure why she pulled Brianna, but she did. What do you guys think about that whole moment outside? And you really start to see Natalie being real and honest and open in front of the cameras. I mean, we know she's struggling, but here we see her letting it out and all of that she's been feeling inside, sort of.
She is so darn sweet, and her struggles make her so relatable. on this show. I want to root for her, and she's pretty wise. You know, I think she's kind of been around the block a little bit with being on Survivor and stuff. She knows that if she works hard, she can make things happen for herself, and I think this is maybe just the first time she hasn't been able to work hard and make it happen. And you really feel for her, right?
I think that the difference between, you know, her previous years on the squad, obviously, and this new year with this new regime, I don't think that in her mind she imagined that it would be that much of a change, or that big of a difference could come into play as far as it was fun before and now it's completely not fun. And I don't understand, is it just not fun because she's not getting the dance steps, or is it not fun because none of this is fun because it's so competitive? I would imagine that it's been competitive before, but it just was more her style of dance. I want to see her win. I am incredibly impressed that she stuck it out all season without making it to the court at all. That's huge. I mean, that takes a lot of character. 40 games, you're just like kind of showing up, practicing, getting laid into dates, because Latrice gives her no slack. None. So, I mean, I'm impressed with Natalie. I hope that she does really well in the final performance, and I hope that, you know, whatever she ultimately decides to do, that, you know, she finds some happiness in dance again, because that's what's sad to me. She doesn't seem to be happy dancing, and that seemed to be a really, you know, joyful spot for her.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine you make the team and you're there just like you were several other years, and everyone knows that you're a Clippers girl, and they have to say, well, we didn't see you at the game, or we didn't see you on screen, or, oh, did you have fun at the game last night? And you're like, well, yeah, I'm one of the dance squad, but I wasn't actually at the game. And it must be so incredibly difficult. And it was nice to meet her parents and see the relationship between them, but it was sort of a weird thing that came out of nowhere. Like, we haven't met them yet. This is episode 7, and it was sort of a weird change from the game to this conversation with her parents, but I liked it, and I kind of wish that we would have seen more of her home life.
And you can tell her mom is really spunky, and her mom is not happy with Latrice and Petra. Not at all.
Sticking up for her
She's
daughter.
being a mama bear.
Good mom.
She's like, yeah, those girls.
Speaking of parents, that brings us to Keisha, Blair's mother.
Keisha.
And so,
Keisha.
following Natalie's struggles, we see Blair with her mother at dinner, and there's some real struggle between them two. What do you guys think about, you know, seeing Keisha really kind of demanding and putting forth her vision and view, Keisha putting her view and vision onto Blair? What were your thoughts? I mean, it seemed like a difficult moment to watch.
It's sort of hard to break it down, because what was confusing to me was that she was so against the girl group thing, and she was saying, you know, I want you to be a doctor, and I don't really want you to be doing this performing stuff. But when this talk started being about Blair becoming a solo artist, then Keisha was sort of all about it. And so I thought, you know, is she really just projecting her dreams onto Blair, and she wanted to be a solo artist, or what? There's definitely something else going on here. We thought that last week too.
We did. There's like a big piece of the story I feel that's missing with Keisha and Blair and their relationship, because yeah, we see them kind of have friction, but it doesn't come off to me as epic as it is when they discuss it with other people. Like, it's obviously, you know, they're getting into it, and they're mother and daughter, and they're not getting along, but when they separate, it's like, oh my God, I can't stand her, and it just, I don't know, something's really weird. There's something else going, there's something missing with that relationship that we're kind of not privy to, that makes it kind of weird.
And I didn't mention that also during that, you know, conversation between mother and daughter, that we see Keisha really adamant about no boys and telling Blair to break up with him now, basically.
I think that Keisha, obviously, I mean, we've seen that since episode 1 when we were first introduced to her. Is Blair the baby? She really is protective of her. And I think the reoccurring theme with Keisha has been she's projecting her dreams and hopes onto Blair. So maybe she's also projecting her fears or past experience with whatever may have happened when she was younger, because we don't really hear too much about Blair's dad.
Right, and we figured out last week that Keisha had Blair and started having children when she was very young. So maybe she herself got married and started having kids young and doesn't want Blair to make that decision.
She's trying to look out for her based on her own past
Yeah, and it sort of makes sense because I feel like Keisha is really quite immature.
Yeah.
You know, giving her daughter the finger and that sort of thing. I just wonder
Often.
she was clearly a very young mom.
They probably grew up feeling more like sisters in a way than actual mother and daughter. So
Yeah, and we know that her dad is part of the LAPD. And there's other reality shows too where the family members who are LAPD aren't on the show. So I'm thinking maybe that's just something that,
right. That makes sense.
Yeah, that they look down upon.
So, following Blair walking out on her mother at dinner, we next see the girls, Savannah and Hannah, go to maybe my favorite part of the episode. They go to get waxed. Hannah's going to get waxed. Her legs are going to get waxed. And
Michael's excited.
I'm excited because now Savannah decides she's going to set up Hannah on a dating profile. I'm assuming it was Tinder. We're not sure. She joked about being on Farmers Only and really funny things. And one of the points that was fun was 3 adjectives to describe her, and they were coming up with funny things like ugly, outgoing, funny, whatnot.
Great personality.
Yeah. Do you have 3 words to describe Hannah?
Ooh, that's a good question. Spunky. I think Hannah's definitely spunky. I think she's adorable. Are spunky and adorable kind of related? Kind of, sort of.
A little different.
And she seems ambitious. So those would be my 3 off the top of my head with no prep.
She's very down to earth as well, I think. Yeah, and a
Relatable.
great friend. That's not one word, but...
That's good. That works. Yeah. I was just figuring if you're still on the dating websites or Savannah's running your profile, you could hear that. We've got some words for you to add, and maybe it'll work out better.
I think stars on a reality TV show would probably also be something to start with.
That would be great. That
You
would
get more dates.
Or Clipper Spirit Dancer, Clippers Dance Squad. That would actually,
Shouldn't be this difficult for you.
I don't think so.
Pretty
Pretty
girl,
blonde. Yeah.
Outgoing, funny.
Do you know?
Relationship experience, come on.
We can go on a blind date.
Oh, hey.
It's not a blind date though if that happens because it's like
Because you guys
I
mad?
don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
He's
Look,
getting all
it's just
wound
the
up about
thought
it.
of it.
Tweet us, Hannah.
We know you're watching. Tweet us your thoughts.
Anyways, so that was a great scene. I enjoyed it. I hope that the dating is going better. And
Do you really, or do you hope that the dating is kind of tapered off from that so that you can shoot your shot?
well, I'm ready for my shot, but
Okay.
I do hope that this is down the road that it's going better than whatever it was.
Got it.
No one should struggle.
You don't want her downing wine and giving you sassy comments.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I feel like she's been learning from Savannah a little bit. A little
good
bit of
tag
that
team.
sass and stuff. Yeah, dude.
So then we finally see Petra come into the episode. She calls Natalie, and she informs Natalie that Natalie is going to get to perform in a game, which is really exciting, obviously, because we talked about how Natalie's been struggling, and Natalie's been feeling really down about herself. We saw so many conversations already, and it's really sweet of Petra to do this, go out on a limb for Natalie and give her this.
But is she really going out on a limb?
Well,
Yeah,
she
we
says
weren't so
she
sure
is.
about her delivery.
I mean, she says she is, but it's the last game of the season. Obviously, we haven't heard anything about Natalie. We've heard that she may not have been up to snuff as far as just her performance, but her effort has been there. She's showed up to all the practices, and it's the last game, and all the team likes her. She's a vet. So in my mind, you're not really putting your neck on the line or putting anything out there. You're being fair.
Sure.
You can frame it up like that, and I understand that Petra is very, disciplined by the inch, so to speak, but I don't really think that she's putting herself out there too badly.
Okay.
Yeah, the point that she kept making was that she didn't want the other dancers to feel slighted, like the other dancers might feel that Natalie doesn't deserve it. But somehow I don't see that being
I don't
the case.
think so either.
I'm sure she's beloved on the team and that they all probably want to dance beside her. Yeah, I don't know.
And she's put in the work. I mean, which has been so. I don't see how another dancer could feel slighted if they know that she's been there, she's putting in the work, and for 40 games. Keep that in mind. 40. Okay, 40 games. She showed up to practice and was like, "Nope, you're not going to make it to the main stage tomorrow night."
I guess I just look at it from like the sports perspective and the professional sports, in that usually, you have players that don't play ever. They come to practice all the time.
Sometimes they get in garbage time. Those
Right.
garbage time minutes.
It's true. No, you're absolutely right. Some of them, they get in a couple of garbage time minutes, but I just don't. I'm not a dancer. I'm not on the dance team. I don't know how it really works. So I just felt like that Petra, by saying she could perform, was a nice thing. But I understand where you're coming from, that, she has been there. She should get a shot to go in.
Because they didn't cut. My thing too is that they didn't cut her. If it was really to that point, she talked about in the early episodes that they have 20, I think 15, 14 dance. Show up on the dance night, but that they didn't have to have that many. So to me, if it was that much of a hardship on the other members of the dance squad, she would have been cut, because as Petra said, she has no problem with letting people go. So I think there's a little bit of Petra wanting to maintain her image.
Fine. Well, then let's talk about Petra's image for a second, because what I don't think you can disagree with me on is that the next thing she did in the episode was really sweet. She meets up with Blair, and she gives Blair some really nice advice when Blair confides in her kind of the issues she's having with her mother. Did you think that?
Oh, no. I thought that she was really honest and really nice. I mean, still in her way, because Petra is not, I think that she has it in her to, give you that openness and that softness, but that is definitely not what you're going to get the first, second, or even third
You gotta
time.
break it down.
Yeah, you have to earn that. It seems like to get to that point where she kind of opens up and lets the walls down, you have to earn that with her. But I did think that she gave Blair some really good advice.
She really did. She came across kind of motherly for the first time. I'm not sure if she has children or not, but I was like, dang, she is right on the money about Keisha.
Yeah, thought so too.
Yeah.
All right.
She read her down.
So let's go to the blind date. We kind of touched on this already. We find out, so Savannah has set up Hannah on a blind date. Kind of awkward.
With the taco guy. My dog has that dog taco costume as well. It's very cute.
There you go.
I don't have a matching one, though. Now I realize I have to get one.
Wait, so my thing is, how old is Hannah? Because she was like, oh, you're a baby. And I'm like, wait, is Hannah that old?
I feel like that's a female tendency in general to do the you're a baby thing if you're even a day older, or even if you're not older and it's someone is young, you're just.
Well, women do mature faster than men, so you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, but Hannah's only, she's 23, maybe 24.
I think I believe they said at some point she's young. She just moved out here. I think she was 22, 23. Right. So it's not, I don't think he's that much of a baby, Steven. But it was an interesting date nonetheless, the blind date. It was kind of awkward at a certain point when he asks. Hannah is chugging the wine, and there's some silence. Who knows how they cut it. However, what did you think about when he asked, so can we do it again? And she said, yeah, we'll see. Because I don't know, is that yes? We'll see is like a maybe? Where are we?
I don't want to embarrass you on TV.
That's the nice way of doing it?
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass you on TV.
So Steven he didn't get a second date?
Absolutely not.
No, and I feel like he should have had no indication during this first date that there was going to be a second one, and I'm surprised that he even asked.
Right.
But, hey,
Steven, I'm not surprised. Go for it. Exactly.
Shoot your shot 2016. If you don't shoot the shot, you're not in the game.
I love it.
So.
It's great. Okay, and then we go back to Blair. All right, so then Blair takes her grandma to Cafe Solar, which, by the way, great taste, Blair, because I love that place. It's a great place. So
I've seen it. I have to go.
Yeah, if you're on Cahuenga, go to Cafe Solar.
There you go.
Great place, really cool spot, and she takes her grandma there, talks about her. She's excited to tell her grandma about the performance for the Rocks and how everything is going, and so it's sweet again. It's nice to see Blair having conversations with a lot of people other than just her mother, and it does, I think, throughout the episode and throughout the season, we've kind of seen that Blair seems like she's a really good girl.
She does.
Like a good heart. She's super ambitious. She's one of the girls on the team that's doing other things, as we see with the Rocks, and she's very supportive, and seems like she's, a winner.
I think it's just what we've talked about, and just that her mom is very concerned with Blair maybe, not staying the course. And, sometimes when you get in relationships, you kind of lose your focus and you get really caught up. And I think her mom is trying to make sure that doesn't happen with her.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. So this brings us towards the end of the episode where we see a really sweet moment. And this time it's from Hannah. Hannah's helping Natalie with dance moves. And this is the reverse of how it normally would work, right? Natalie's the veteran, Hannah's the rookie, and yet Hannah's kind of teaching Natalie the dance moves. And I thought it was a really sweet moment. It showed, it was good, closure to the episode, really, showing just that not only is Hannah a sweet girl, Natalie's sweet, and they, Natalie's been struggling with the whole season, not performing. Hannah's had some struggles with her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend in Louisiana, and yet you see a nice moment between the ladies and LA Women. Title kind of sums it up with Hannah helping Natalie. And it kind of, I like the way that ended. What do you think?
Yeah, something just occurred to me as you're saying this, and we never see any of these girls in a very unfavorable light, aside from Athena, who got her butt fired. It's just occurring to me now that clearly the LA Clippers have final say on these episodes, and they're like, you better make these girls look nice, because on what other reality show do the ladies never get crazy drunk and skanky and like not help each other and be catty, and like this is just so incredibly uncommon for a reality show,
especially on E.
Right? I'm saying, like, I mean, I'm a total Divas all the way. So this just, it kind of blows me away how sweet they all are. But maybe we're just getting the sweet side. I don't know.
mean, I think that what we also have to keep in mind is that they are coming into new ownership. Overall, rebranding. The Clippers' spirit weren't that great in previous years. I can say that as a fan who's been to many games. And so I think that they are trying to, change the image, shed the Donald Sterling years. And the moment between Hannah and Natalie kind of brought it back to the whole sisterhood thing that we started with, that they were supposed to show throughout, which I think that we've seen. There's definitely a sisterhood there. And, no drama. Except for Athena.
Well, it was a lovely way to end the episode, a jam-packed episode. Let's get to predictions.
Yeah.
My favorite part. There we go.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
And let's start predictions off with you, Christy.
All right, I think that this season finale is going to be explosive. It's going to be what we've waited for this entire season. We're going to feel like, yes, we put in 7 hours and now here it is. Like Athena and this whole Forever 21 comment with the dresses, like that's the cattiness I'm talking about. Like they are going to go there in this last episode, and I think it's going to be juicy. I think we're going to see an even worse side to Athena than we've ever seen before, now that she has nothing to lose.
Right.
And maybe Hannah's going to get herself a little sassed up. She's learning from Savannah, and she's putting it out there. I don't know. I hope that we see Blair and Keisha come to some sort of appeasement.
Agreement,
I don't think that's going to happen, though.
So for me, what I think, I'm hoping to be blown away by the Rock's performance because we'll get to see them. I hope we get to see more court time. I know that is so random, but I feel like we've only seen them actually on the court or perform maybe 2 times. And if you're not going to give me big drama in their life, then give me more dance.
I like it.
Agreed.
Yeah. I like it. And I'm hoping that during the Rock's performance that Blair knows how to work her hair and that we don't see too much more Athena, and that Hannah's got her whole personal life figured out with whatever dating website she's using.
Yes.
And lastly, I hope that all of you guys that have joined us tonight, make sure to join us for the last episode next week. With that said, thank you guys so much for joining us on this week's episode of LA Clippers Dance Squad.
Woo-hoo.
Come back next week. I'm your host. My name is Michael Rippe. You could find me on social media at Mike Rips right here. And I'm joined by these lovely ladies.
I'm Jill Munroe. You can check me out at Stiletto Jill on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and for all your sports and pop culture gossip, Jackson Stiletto Jill.
All right. And you can all follow me at Christy Reports, Twitter, Instagram. I'm Snapchatting now. I'm snapping it up. And please also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Christy Reports. There are some juicy, sassy, catty reality TV interviews there for you. So if you need that juice, I got it for you.
Thank you guys for joining us. And thanks to Steven, our engineer.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Adios.
Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.